Again. That's better. I thought the colour changed. Hello, good evening. It's a very windy Saturday night, 8 o'clock here in the UK, and the colour just changed again. I noticed that and I've done nothing. My name is Paul, and I help people that have got a drink problem bring the fun back into their lives without the alcohol, and I use hypnosis, happiness, and hijinks. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Before I start before I start today's main thing, I just want to have a quick chat with you about something. I've literally in the past 25 minutes just got off the call with a potential client who isn't going to become a client. He was really keen, spoke to him yesterday, filled out my survey, booked a call and all the rest of it. And then we got into the call and literally 2.5 minutes in, if that, he suddenly said to me, I'm not feeling so good, and off he went, disappeared. Didn't even get to say goodbye and let's book a call another time kind of thing. This person is definitely not in the category that we talked about yesterday, you know, feeling like he's had enough, feeling that he's determined and feeling that, you know, he really is ready to learn. Just wasn't there. So I think for a few people tonight, it might be really good to have another look at that video that I created a couple of weeks ago, the one that's called Alcohol is Your Cave. It's an allegory by Plato, and basically Plato is this philosopher back in the way back when, and he tells this story of 3 prisoners who are in a cave, and they're chained in such a way that all they can do is they face the wall of this cave, and behind them there's a walkway going from one side of the cave to the next, and behind that there's a fire. So whenever anybody comes from one side of the village, walks through, sorry, there's a message coming through. When anybody walks through the back of this, back of this cave, these big shadows appear on the wall in front of the prisoners, and that's all the prisoners see. And because a cave is echoey, when anybody sort of speaks or makes a noise when they're walking through this cave, it echoes and becomes distorted and unreal. One day, one of the prisoners is let out. I don't know, for whatever reason, he escapes or he's set free and goes out into the world. And once he's got his eyesight back, because obviously being in a cave, it's really dark. Once he can see where he is, he's like bewildered. This new reality, the light, the sounds, the smells, the people that he can see, the animals that he can see, the land around him. He just has to rush back into the cave to tell the other 2 prisoners what he's seen, what he's discovered, and that their reality is not the reality outside. So he goes back into the cave, and of course he's on the walkway, which means that he is this big grotesque shadow on the wall, and when he's gesticulating and making noise, he's trying to tell his fellow ex-prisoners what's going on, they don't understand. They just see this monstrosity on the wall. That's what alcohol does to people. That's what happened to this guy today. Yeah, the alcohol is obviously still in control of his emotions, his feelings, his way of looking at life, because yesterday is all, let's go, all guns blazing. I want to get this sorted out. I want to get this monkey off my back and all this kind of thing. And when it comes down to start talking about it, it's like, okay, I just have to leave via stage exit west or whatever you want to call it, yeah? It's the way it goes sometimes. It's really sad, because after having a brief chat with this person, some exchanges via messenger, I know I can help him, but he's just not ready. And, you can't help people when they're not ready. If they haven't had enough, if they're not really determined to make the changes, and if they're not ready to learn, then I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do. Anyway, tonight is kind of linked in with that, because I want to talk about not stepping out of your comfort zone, but expanding your comfort zone. Because whenever anybody talks about, comfort zones and doing different things, it's like, well, you've got to go out to do it and then come back in again. Well, I disagree, because say your comfort zone is, 2 feet in front of you all the way around. If you step out of it, it stays 2 feet around you when you get back in. Whereas if you expand it, it becomes 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, and then unlimited. So I left the company that I'd been with for 25 years back in December 2017. And I'm not going to go into the reasons why, that's for another time. And I spent the last year expanding my comfort zone in many, many different ways. So a lot of falls along the way, a lot of missteps and side steps and back steps. But I did some stuff that was really, really, from my perspective, I'm not talking spiritually or religiously, but I'm talking about opening my mind to seeing things in a different kind of way. One of the things that I did was this guy called Logan Murray, lives in London, and he is a comedian. He's a writer, actor, been on TV, written plays, directed, and all that kind of stuff. And he runs this 15-week stand-up. I got buffered there, sorry. I'm just going to come off Wi-Fi. Should be okay now, I apologise for that. Anyway, so Logan Murray, 15-week stand-up course, was absolutely incredible. Basically, what you had to do was each week, every Saturday for about 5 or 6 hours, we got together as a group and we started to write our own material, started to learn about what is funny, what isn't funny, and to start writing sketches and stories and expanding that to fill literally only a 5-minute slot. But I tell you not, 5 minutes is a long time for your first time. So we did the course, and at the end of the course, to graduate, you have to do a live gig. So halfway through the course, we're motoring along, and it's going really well. I met some really cool friends, and it's fun and interesting and exciting. And then somebody has the bright idea of, let's do a practice gig. And I'm going, practice gig? Because, I mean, you may not believe it, but I'm quite an introverted, shy, retiring type. I mean, I'm not surrounded by crowds of people here. There's just me and there's you. So I don't go out to big parties and have big crowds around me in the pub or anything like that. I'm very much a quiet kind of person. So getting up on stage and speaking in front of people I've never met before was very, very, very daunting, very scary. You know, we're talking brown pants kind of scary. Anyway, so the friend said, look, let's go and do this gig. There's a really friendly, it's a brand new night. There's a club coming in to sponsor the event. There'll be a couple of 100 people there. It'll be really good fun. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Put my hand up. There's about 3 of us went, I think. We went, so it's in central London, in Victoria, massive, massive, very popular, trendy kind of area. We go in there. There's a professional stand-up guy who does like the comparing, so he has like a 10-15 minute slot himself, then he introduces each of the acts. There was a couple of pro acts in there, and we are kind of like slotted in between. It was scary because these people, the professional and the 2 invited guests, were really, really, really funny. They were hilarious, and then they'd been doing it for quite some time on the circuit. And then you had sort of like little old me and my couple of friends who'd never done anything like it before in our lives. Yeah. Now, we could have walked off and the compere would have just gone, blah, 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 and you made a couple of minutes time up himself. But no, I went up there and I was literally shaking inside, shaking. But I got on the stage, I knew my stuff, and I started just saying it. And a couple of hecklers, got a bit of improvisation going. And I absolutely loved it. It was brilliant, so much fun. And I don't know what else to say. It was just like, wow, this is so eye-opening. And I got, I know it was only 5 minutes here, I understand that, but I got relaxed. After a couple of minutes, I was really relaxed. I was really into it. And in the end, I didn't actually want to come off. I was sort of getting into my flow. But, came off, and my other colleagues went on there. And we did a kind of a debrief, and every single one of us went, this is incredible, this is so amazing, so much fun. But it's hard work because you've got to have material that works and that people are going to, okay, you can't please everyone all the time, but the idea is that you get people on your side and people are going to laugh with you. So we finished the rest of the course and then did the finale, the graduation gig at the Water Rats in central London, just up the road from King's Cross St Pancras. And again, that was scary because the Water Rats is where Oasis did their first live gig in London, and I think the Beatles had played there and a few of the really, really big bands had played there. So it's a well-known venue in London. So it's very, very prestigious. And so going into this well-known venue as a tiny little newbie comedian was quite, daunting. But again, and the thing was, I'd written some new material, and the day before we had a dress rehearsal, and we took it in turns. A whole group of our peers and Logan were going through our material, and it came up to my turn, and I'd written this new stuff, and it fell absolutely flat. It got panned because at the end of your slot, people gave you feedback, and basically Logan Murray, in the politest way possible, said, "Paul, that is shit. That is not good material." And I'm thinking, what do I do? The live gig is tomorrow night, and I've got no material. And I got this close to saying, okay, that's it, I'm not going to do it, I've screwed up completely. And I talked to a few people, they said, look, Paul, go with the original stuff and just tweak it here and there. So I went home, hung my head in shame and come back to the flat. And I spent all of, it was on Sunday night, the gig, I believe, yeah. And so I spent all of Sunday sitting there thinking, do I go, do I stay, do I go, do I stay? And in the end, I just said, look, fuck it, excuse my language. I sat down and I got my old material out and I sort of tweaked it very, very slightly and got on the train, went to London, got there really early because we had to set a sound check and all that kind of stuff because it was very professional. Did the sound check and I'm still debating, am I going to go on, am I not going to go on? And in the end, I went on and it was absolutely brilliant. I had such a great time. And the reason being is there was a heckler. There was two hecklers, one down the front here, and I can still see them, one over in the back corner. And they were giving me a really hard time. But what they didn't know was the way they were talking at me just gave me instant kind of feedback. And I was able to go back at them and get the rest of the audience on my side. So these two hecklers who were trying to sort of do me in did me a major, major service by getting the crowd on my side. And they were, I had some really, really good laughs. I did get it recorded, and what I'll do is I will link to the video in the comments from this one tonight. But it was brilliant and I really enjoyed it. And that just made me feel much more confident about doing public speaking. And, speaking in front of people, doing this. I mean, I would have probably had a really hard time if I hadn't done this comedy thing, doing these because I'm really relaxed. Okay, sometimes I mumble and stumble over my words kind of thing, yeah? But I'm not hiding behind the screen here. I'm here in front talking and I've got got notes and I enjoy it and I'm getting some really good feedback from people. So that's why I'm doing it. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're stuck where you are now, yeah, you really need to just say, okay, I'm stuck, I need to move forward. So go and do something. It doesn't have to be a stand-up comedy course. It doesn't have to cost you any money. It could be go for a walk in a part of the town you've never been before. Go and do one of these taster days, a martial art or a new sport, I don't know, baseball, netball, hockey, football, swimming, scuba diving, I don't know, lots of these places. And if you're in the States, you've got community colleges. In the UK, you've got college adult education, and they've all got these different things to do. It could be learning to life drawing. You get real live people naked in a room and you've got to draw them or paint them. Yeah, push your, expand that comfort and try something different. And why am I saying do this? Because if you are stuck, yeah, getting out and doing different things gives you a different outlook. It gives you a different perspective. It shows you that there is stuff out there, the other side of alcohol, yeah. And wherever you are stuck, it doesn't matter whether it's alcohol or health or smoking, it doesn't really matter. But it shows you that there is life after whatever it is. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling upset, if you've just lost someone, whether you've been kicked out, you've had a separation with your loved ones, it doesn't really matter. Get out and do stuff. Sitting at home watching Netflix isn't helping you. It won't help you. I don't care what anybody says, yeah? The only way to help yourself is to do stuff. Well, there's two ways. Ask for help. Second way is to go do stuff. And the stuff doesn't really matter. Go volunteer. Yeah? there are lots of charities everywhere around the world that are desperate for people to work in a shop, sorting out stuff, standing on the street corner, you know, rattling a tin, asking for money, working in a shop. There's all sorts of different jobs you could do, yeah? There is no excuse for sitting at home feeling sorry for you. Because I know, you know, I've been there, yeah? And it is very easy to do. But what I'm trying to offer you is an opportunity to say, look, you're stuck. This is a way to get unstuck. Go and do things. And the thing, it doesn't matter. Just go and do something, you know. Oh yeah, another thing I did last year, I went, this will make you laugh, okay. I actually went on a, how can I put this delicately, a social development course last year. I spent a week in London with all these different instructors, and what it meant was I was spending most of my day going and talking to strangers. I'd go into the street and ask people for directions. I'd be in a bookshop and striking up conversation with people. I'd be going out into a bar or a club or something of a night and just, you know, talking to people, building up my social confidence. And again, like I said right at the start of this chat tonight, I'm a very quiet kind of insular person. So me going and deliberately talking to a stranger, apart from say a cashier at Tesco or wherever, was a big thing for me. And again, it really expanded my comfort zone. So now I can go to, you know, Asda or Sainsbury's or whatever, and I can sit at the checkout and I can talk to the checkout assistant while they're, you know, scanning my stuff or whatever. And it's not a problem. I enjoy it. And you're actually helping other people. How often do you go into a shop or to a supermarket or something like that, and this person who's serving you, you treat them like an automaton. They're just there to scan your stuff and take your money. But they're humans too. So just, you know, it doesn't matter what you say. Hi, how's it going? Having a busy day? You know, how's life treating you? What time do you finish? Has it been, you know, are you looking forward to finishing? Have you just started? It doesn't really matter. Just have a conversation. Do something different. Just talk to people. People don't bite. This is what I used to think. I used to think people would run away screaming and dial, you know, for emergency services to come if I actually talked to them. But what I found was the vast majority of people are very, very happy to talk to you, even if it's just like, you know, good morning. The only time in the UK, this makes me laugh, is that you can walk up to someone and go, good morning, without looking like you're a crazy person. It's Christmas morning. Christmas morning, suddenly there's a switch that flicks in people's head and they go, oh, I can be nice to people today. And so you're walking along the street, and you go, good morning, Merry Christmas. And they go, oh, good morning, Merry Christmas. You do that today, tomorrow, the day after, and people go, morning, hello. And they sort of think you're an alien that's dropped in from another planet. It doesn't matter. You smile, and I'm not talking about a creepy smile, just a genuine inside happy smile, even if you're not feeling happy. Did you know you can burn up calories by smiling? Seriously, there's lots of muscles in your face, yeah, and they're quite big, strong muscles. It takes a lot to do this, yeah. Sorry, yeah. A natural smile actually uses up energy, yeah, and it comes across. If you've got a natural smile and you're walking down the street and you smile at people, you are going to make somebody's day. I promise you, you'll make somebody's day. You'll make somebody happy because they will go home tonight or they'll go back to the office and go, bugger me, I'm just walking down the street and this guy, this woman just smiled and said good morning. That's never happened to me in years. It's just a tiny thing. But by making somebody else's day, you will make your own day. I promise you. So, I think that's the end of it for now. So go, do, expand. Go do something different. Expand your horizons, expand your comfort zone. Get yourself out there. And it doesn't have to, there you go again. It doesn't have to cost you a penny. Thank you for watching. I do this 7 days a week at 8 o'clock UK time in the evening. My name is Paul. I help people who've got a drink problem put the fun back into their lives without the alcohol, and I use hypnosis, happiness and hijinks. I will see you tomorrow night, same place, same time. Bye.